Which is the best place to live in the lakeside city of Kisumu? Well, the answer to that question depends on many factors. But what is clear is that Kisumu's real estate sector is on the rise.
There's a lot of demand in some areas like Reott up the hill because of the good view.
In 1997, it was a bush, but currently you can see the population has gone up.
Kisumu is actually moving its center of business from the current city center to where the mall stands. Kisumu is moving.
Already we've identified areas where we should be putting up the affordable housing units.
Today on the Chamada Report, the status of Kisumu's real estate. But first, here is our fact sheet.
Kisumu has a unique blend of real estate that encompasses upper, middle and low-income residential units, office blocks and commercial malls. The high-end estates are the city suburbs of Milimani and Reott Hills that is located off the Kisumu-Kakamega Highway. The middle-income areas include Kibos, Mamboleo, Lolwe, Kenyari and Migosi, while the low-income areas include Arena, Makasembo, Nyalenda, Obunga and Kondele, among others. According to a 2018 report by Citon Investments on Kisumu's real estate investment opportunity, the real estate market in Kisumu is driven mainly by positive economic growth, positive demographics with Kisumu's population growing by 2.8% per annum, infrastructural development and evolution. But there are still a number of challenges like lack of space for expansion, poor land administration, perceived political instability and unstructured planning regulations. In the new urban development plan, the city has been divided into 5 zones, namely the Lakefront, Central Business District, middle-level estates surrounding the Central Business District, the Slum Belt, and the Growth Node or the peri-urban areas. For the Chamada Report, my name is Michael Zimanji.
The African Cultural Troupe, led by Rosemary Akinyi, welcomes us to Kisumu as we continue with our series Kisumu Today. We joined them for a jig at the amphitheater of the Lake Basin Mall, a new landmark that is situated along the Kisumu-Kakamega Highway. The song is about the thrills of Kisumu. Stay knowing we will take you to Kisumu, goes the chorus. That short interlude leads us into the topic of our show today, the status of the real estate in Kisumu. If you are taken to Kisumu, as the song says, what would you see? What would you find? And where would you stay? We decided to start with the much talked about Reott Neighborhood, which is situated off the Kisumu-Kakamega Highway. And Joseph Owala, who works for Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, welcomes us to his homestead on the hill as he reflects on how the place has changed.
In 1997, when I came to buy the land, the whole piece, which was 1.5 acres, I bought for 300,000. But at the moment, a quarter of an acre goes for 3 million in this region. The place was bushy, it was less settled. There were very few people who had bought land here and built. But currently you can see the population has gone up because the place is prime, people like it. It has partly the weather of Kakamega, western weather, is cooler than Kisumu town.
At the Translakes, a middle-level estate that is situated along Kibos Road, we meet Mr. and Mrs. Collins Olang. Collins works in Nairobi, but his family lives in Kisumu.
I've worked in development in Nairobi, Kisumu, I came to Kisumu, then left Kisumu, back to Nairobi, but my family stays here. And there's a connection that I have with Kisumu. And I would want that connection to be real. And that means that I want to settle here.
So we moved from Nairobi in 2017 with the entire family to Kisumu. And the first time we did not know anybody in Kisumu, and therefore we used friends to help us get spaces in Kisumu. So when I was introduced here to just come and look at the area, I was impressed. There was adequate security. There's all that we required as a family, and therefore we settled here in 2017. And initially the rent was about 25,000 per month. Then a year later, the rent was increased by 5,000, and now we are paying 30,000 per month for a 3-bedroomed house, self-contained.
But from an investor's perspective, how is property business in Kisumu? Is it booming?
It is not all that good. It's a bit down, but I think maybe it will improve. 5 to 10 years back, it was booming, and we were very busy and active. But now, because as you know, there was election, and then economy is not good even now. There was also access to credit. Bank were giving clients loans, but now it's a bit tricky because they rather give government compared to individuals.
It used to boom, yes, it used to, especially after the 2007 post-election violence. There was a big boom. Most of the local people here naturally had a tendency of not liking any investments in Kisumu. But after the violence, there was a tendency of so many people coming in to say, we would rather invest here because of what happened. You know what happened. Yes. Yeah, most people were like, can I go and invest home? My house will be burnt wherever I am and things like that, and a lot of people came in.
While the property business may no longer be booming, many stakeholders agree that there is a huge potential.
The perception of the locals has really changed. Kisumu is viewed as the hub of that region. You find that most of the locals working in the diaspora and even in the other countries have embarked in real estate sector, developing very high-rise apartments. You will see some serious investments which have come up.
Like in any other businesses, population increase has been one of the key factors putting pressure on the housing sector in Kisumu.
By the year 2050, 60% of the world population will be living in cities. Sitting here in the city, I already feel the brunt of the rural-urban migration. Many people, because of the failed agricultural system in the countryside, are finding their way to the city. The factories, like the sugar factories, closing down, a lot of unemployment now coming, and many people feel they'll find refuge in the city. And what does it mean for me? It means slums are increasing in size, people need accommodation, there's pressure on the general city infrastructure in terms of housing, in terms of water and sanitation, street lighting, security challenges, health issues, health facilities, food even. There's an issue called urban hunger. So there's multifaceted challenges posed on us as a city.
There is growth literally in every sector, including even commercial. But residential housing has been rampant and much stronger because Kisumu generally is a resident town. People come here for work. We also house people who work in other counties, perhaps because of the better services that you can be able to find in this city. So you'll find fellows who are working in Kakamega County live here. You will find people working in Vihiga County also living here. People working in Sierra County living here. Some people work in Homa Bay County, they live here.
The other factor influencing trends in the real estate in the lakeside city is infrastructure.
The development of the infrastructure has actually had a significant influence in the price of the land, especially, and property around. Yeah? You find the areas that had not been opened up, like right now we're opening up the Dunga area. So Dunga is like a virgin area. It's very nice, but it was not, it didn't have a road network. Right now, there's a road that's being constructed towards Dunga. And the land prices around that place is going up, is shooting up every day. You find where we constructed the bypass from Nyamasaria towards the airport. All the property around that site, yeah, the price just went up.
According to Estate Cloud, dealers in real estate research, residential developers have lately focused on the high-end residences, such as the investments located on the lush neighborhoods of Reott Hills and other out-of-reach areas for the ordinary city dweller. However, the city is staggering under increasing demand for residential housing, especially among the medium to low-income segments of the population. Experts say that there are not enough single and one-bedroom apartment developers to supply the needs of the lower-income earners. Just how is the county government of Kisumu dealing with this challenge?
The first thing that we are doing in the 5 slums is to improve infrastructure, build roads, drainage, sanitation, and so on. The second thing we're going to do is to do what we call urban renewal, try and put, using both the government resources and private sector, to improve habitation in so-called slums. I mean, nobody likes living in slums. It is kind of a historical condition that inherited from the past. Nobody is consigned to live in slums forever. So our role as a government is to intervene to make sure that people living in slums and they live in what I call habitable and safe homes. And we are currently working with such organizations, National Housing Corporation, Lab Fund, and so on. They bring in their capital, we have the land, we have the people, we work out what equity share we are going to have in these housing projects, and we have to agree at what price they're being constructed and how much they will be sold to the people, so they're really affordable. We don't want the idea of affordability to be a myth. We like the idea of affordability to be a reality.
On that note, we take a short commercial break. When we return, the challenges facing Kisumu's real estate and way forward. Plus, how the newest mall in the city is linked to the real estate.
Kisumu is actually moving its center of business from the current city center to where the mall stands. Kisumu is moving.
You are watching Kisumu's Real Estate in our continuing series, Kisumu Today. At this juncture, let us now look at the market prices to get an idea of what one may need to part with in order to buy land, rent a house, or buy a house in this city.
Most people who buy in Reott buy to make their homes, to build their homes and settle there. However, there are a few people who also buy for commercial purposes, to rent out. And even in my neighborhood here, 4-bedroomed bungalows, especially in gated communities, go for about between 70 to 80,000. In Milimani, almost the same thing. Almost the same thing.
the property market has changed such that around 10 years ago, an eighth of an acre in Milimani was going for 10 million. At the moment, we are talking over 100 million plus. So a lot of development are moving from that area now going towards the residential areas. Talk of Lake Basin development, which is a setup in the residential area. Dubai Mall, which is in Nyamasaria. So a lot of serious developments are moving out of that hub of that area of Milimani and the town setup to the residential areas now.
Then we have the middle income estates like Polyview, like Lolwe, like Migosi, where a two-bedroom apartment is going for around 20 to 25,000. We then have the low-income estates like in Manyata, like in Nyalenda, where units, a two-bedroom unit is going for around 8 to 10,000 per month.
These houses are on sale, and we are selling them at a price, different prices. Two-bedroom is we are selling at 5.5 million Kenyan shilling. Three-bedroom, 6.5 million Kenyan shilling. Maisonette, three-bedroom with a 7-quarter one room, 7.5 million Kenyan shilling.
There's still need for housing in Kisumu, where investors can do residential houses, 2, 3-bedroom apartments, which are also nowadays going in the range of between 20 to around 50,000 rent per month, depending on the area and the setup of the investment itself.
Here now, do you have the services that are key, for example, water, good roads and sewerage? How do you deal with those?
The sewer lines, you just do your own septic tank. It's a long way to come. I don't think it's coming soon. Yeah, but we have water, Kiwasko, just about to come. The pipes have been fixed.
Okay.
When I bought this place about 18 years ago, I bought it from some Muslim guy. He owns an hotel in Kisumu.
Yes.
And the place was a bush. There were no neighbors. There was just nothing. The whole place, there was just a bush, inhabited by huge snakes. Yeah, but I said this is where my home will be.
The Reott area is popular, and the land prices there is quite high just because of the view of the lake, because people value the view of the lake and also proximity to maybe the other services.
The Lake Basin Mall is strategically situated near this growing neighborhood.
Kisumu can only grow on 2 out of the 4 sides. One side is covered by a permanent lake. The other side is prone to flooding and marshy land. So it is this side of the mall of Kisumu that it will expand on as far as residential estate is concerned. Kisumu is actually moving its center of business from the current city center to where the mall stands. Kisumu is moving. And even lifestyle is changing. As soon as this mall will begin to operate fully, of course it is now, with the external amphitheaters, everything that you'd want in Kisumu will be found in the mall, including heavy shops selling equipment and motor vehicles. It is joined by a straight road from the airport, a straight road from Kakamega, a bypass from the Kisumu-Nairobi road. You can get to the mall without passing either the town center or the famous Kondele.
Let's now shift gears to the challenges the Kisumu real estate faces, and one of them is about land management.
The one which I thought was a major one was the land issue. The fact that you cannot rely on title that you have. So that one we're trying to resolve. The other thing is just the income levels, the unemployment within the area, because we don't have major industries within the area. The agricultural, the agriculture within, which was sustaining the economy around here, actually went down. So the capability of people to develop has been affected. So those are some of the major threats So you find most investors are coming from outside. So around the election times, it's like there's a lull. They keep down. Then after that, it picks up because people, I mean, once the election fever is gone, then things come back to normal. So the election is not a major factor. I mean, we've been experiencing a lot of high growth in the real estate, despite the problem that we've had after election times. So it's not a major problem, but we're trying to discourage as a government that we should not have such problems after the elections.
The other challenge has been lack of proper physical planning, but a detailed urban development plan which zones the city into 5 zones is now in place, but the biggest test is implementation.
And to say that Kisumu has been a sleeping giant, in that we realize, I think because of the past political dispensation and how the previous governments treated us, not so much was done in terms of developing the infrastructure. But now things have changed, and with the leadership that we have, we are now out full swing to be able to exploit the opportunities. One such is a lakefront.
Availability of serviced land for development would be a big boost to the real estate sector in Kisumu.
The water coverage is great, that I can tell you. Coverage in terms of piping and the infrastructure, actually we have covered 80%. On the sanitation or the sewerage pipeline, that is low, we are at 30. And most of us, 60% of Kisumu, we have the slums where you have the pit latrine still. So we are trying to penetrate that, and that is a challenge. But one of the biggest problem we have that we are trying to address now is what you call the non-revenue water. Non-revenue water are the losses we get. We pump so much at the Dunga water treatment works and also the one in Kajulu. But 45% of that waste is lost through the pipings and the water infrastructure. So now we've just gotten a grant from the French government to help us try and address the non-revenue water.
Indeed, great potential there for Kisumu's real estate if services are improved, incentives given to investors and people's purchasing power improved within an environment that encourages public-private partnerships.
And I'm glad hotels are coming up here in a big way also already, and we need more.
And that's how we end the show today. Remember to join us for our next episode in this continuing series, Kisumu Today. We will be focusing on the hospitality industry. On behalf of the entire crew that made this production possible, my name is Alex Chamada saying, Oriti.
Lake Basin Mall, a modern facility located 5 kilometers on Kisumu-Kakamega newly built double carriageway. Book your space now through the sole letting agent Charcon Properties Limited on 0722 710688.